My beloved child. Before you blink, before your thumb even thinks of moving, listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not random, not accidental, and definitely not common. Right now, somewhere in your life, there is a presence forming that you did not plan, did not imagine, and yet it is already moving toward you with an intensity that will change how you see love forever. This is not the kind of love people talk about casually. This is the kind that watches silently, feels deeply, and waits patiently. You might think your life is ordinary at this moment, but that thought alone is proof that something extraordinary is approaching. Every choice you made recently, even the ones you regret, pushed you closer to this moment. There is a reason you stopped here today. There is a reason these words found you. And there is a reason your heart feels slightly heavier, even though nothing visible has changed yet. Something unseen is aligning itself with you, and once it enters your life, the past version of you will quietly disappear. Now pause for a second and notice this. Think about the last few weeks of your life. The strange emotional shifts. The sudden memories. The unexplained calm followed by restlessness. Those were not random mood swings. Those were signals. When someone is about to enter your life who loves you madly, reality begins to rearrange itself first. You may have felt disconnected from people who once mattered. You may have outgrown conversations without realizing it. You may even have felt lonely in a crowd. That loneliness was not emptiness. It was space being created. This kind of love does not squeeze itself into a full life. It arrives when there is room to stay. And the most shocking part is this. The person who is coming does not love you for who you pretend to be. They are drawn to the version of you that you hide when no one is watching. Your flaws do not scare them. Your silence does not bore them. Your past does not weaken their feelings. That is why their love will feel overwhelming, not because it is loud, but because it is precise. Here is where things get intense, so do not lose focus. This person already knows more about you than you think. Not facts. Not details. But patterns. They sense your emotional rhythm. They understand when you pull away and why you do it. They recognize the moments you smile just to survive. And this is the revelation most people are not ready for. This connection does not start with attraction. It starts with recognition. When they enter your life, it will feel familiar, almost unsettlingly comfortable, as if you have continued a conversation that was paused long ago. You will not need to explain yourself. You will not need to perform. In their presence, your nervous system will finally rest. That is how you will know this is real. Not through butterflies, but through peace. The kind of peace that scares you because you are not used to it. Stay with me, because this next truth changes everything. The love coming into your life is not here to rescue you. It is here to meet you. That means you are not being chosen out of pity or convenience. You are being chosen out of clarity. This person sees your strength, especially the strength you developed during moments when no one helped you. They admire how you kept going when giving up would have been easier. And here is the once-in-a-lifetime truth. They love you not despite your struggles, but because of how those struggles shaped you. When they look at you, they do not see damage. They see depth. They see survival. They see someone worth committing to emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. That kind of love does not fade with time. It deepens with understanding. Finally, understand this and hold it close. When this person comes into your life, everything that felt forced before will fall away naturally. You will stop chasing validation. You will stop questioning your worth. You will stop accepting half connections. Not because someone told you to, but because you will no longer need to. Their presence will quietly raise your standards without a single argument. And the most powerful part is this. They will love you madly, not loudly. In ways that protect you. In ways that choose you even on ordinary days. In ways that make you realize why nothing worked out before. This is not the end of the story. This is the moment before everything begins. And if you are still here, still listening, it means your soul already knows what your mind is about to understand. Listen to this carefully, because now the story turns deeper. What is coming next is not about romance alone, it is about transformation. When this person finally steps into your life, you will notice something subtle but powerful. Your inner noise will begin to quiet down. The constant questioning, the self-doubt, the need to prove yourself, all of it will slowly lose its grip. This will confuse you at first, because chaos has been familiar for so long. You may even wonder why things feel too stable, too real, too grounded. That is because this love is not built on excitement alone. It is built on emotional safety. And emotional safety feels strange to those who have survived without it. This person will not rush you. They will not demand explanations. They will not pressure you to be anything other than who you already are becoming. Their patience will shock you more than any dramatic gesture ever could. Now here comes the part that most people miss, so stay sharp. This connection will test you before it settles. Not in destructive ways, but in revealing ones. You will feel exposed. Truly seen. And that can feel terrifying when you have learned to hide your emotions to survive. You might try to pull back. You might question their intentions. You might even think of walking away. But notice this. They will not chase you aggressively, nor will they disappear. They will stay steady. Consistent. Grounded. And that consistency will force you to confront something uncomfortable. Your own fear of being fully loved. This is where the real suspense lies. Not in whether they love you, but in whether you will allow yourself to receive it. Pay attention now, because this is a rare revelation. This person's love will activate parts of you that have been dormant for years. Your creativity. Your hope. Your belief in long-term connection. You will start imagining a future again, not because you are desperate, but because it finally feels possible. And here is the shock. You will realize that all the heartbreaks before were not failures. They were filters. Each disappointment removed someone who could not love you at this depth. Each ending prepared your nervous system for this arrival. This love is not accidental timing. It is precise timing. It meets you when you are strong enough to recognize it and soft enough to hold it. Do not underestimate what happens next. This love will change how you move through the world. You will speak with more honesty. You will walk with more confidence. You will no longer shrink yourself to fit into places that cannot hold you. And the most intense part is this: they will mirror your growth. As you heal, they heal. As you rise, they rise. This is not a one-sided story. This is alignment. Two people choosing each other every day, not out of need, but out of understanding. That is why this connection feels heavy in a good way. It carries meaning. It carries intention. It carries future weight. Hold this final truth in your chest. When this person loves you madly, it will not look like obsession. It will look like commitment. It will look like calm mornings and honest conversations. It will look like protection without control and closeness without suffocation. And one day, quietly, you will realize something extraordinary. You are no longer waiting for love. You are living inside it. That realization will hit you when you least expect it, maybe during a simple moment, a shared silence, a gentle smile. And in that moment, you will understand why you had to wait. Why you had to grow. Why you had to endure. This story is still unfolding. And if you are still here, it means the next chapter is already moving toward you. There is something you must understand now, and it will hit you slowly, not all at once. When this love fully settles into your life, it will begin to rewrite your definition of effort. You will notice that you are no longer forcing conversations, no longer over-explaining your feelings, no longer carrying the weight alone. Things will flow, not because life suddenly became easy, but because you are finally walking beside someone who moves at your emotional pace. This will feel unfamiliar, almost suspicious, because you were trained by past experiences to expect struggle as proof of love. But this time, the proof will be different. The proof will be presence. The proof will be reliability. The proof will be how they show up even when nothing exciting is happening. And that is when it will sink in. This love is not here to drain you. It is here to sustain you. Let this part sink deep, because it carries quiet power. The person who loves you madly will never compete with your past. They will not ask for comparisons. They will not demand reassurance every moment. Instead, they will stand so firmly in their intentions that your doubts will slowly lose their voice. You will start trusting without checking. You will start believing without questioning. And the shocking part is this: they will make you feel safe enough to be honest about your fears, even the ones you never admitted to yourself. In that honesty, something rare will happen. You will stop performing strength. You will allow yourself to be real. And in that space, love will grow roots, not wings. Roots that hold. Roots that last. Now listen closely, because this is where destiny feels personal. This love will not arrive loudly announcing itself. It will reveal itself through patterns. Through consistency. Through small moments that stack quietly into certainty. A message at the right time. A silence that feels comfortable, not awkward. Support that does not need to be requested. And one day you will realize that this person has been choosing you repeatedly, even when you were not watching. That realization will feel heavy, because it will force you to confront a truth. You were never asking for too much. You were just asking the wrong people. This love proves that clarity always feels calmer than chaos. There is a deeper transformation coming, so stay with it. As this love grows, you will notice your boundaries becoming stronger without becoming walls. You will stop tolerating what drains you. You will stop explaining your worth. Not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. And the most powerful shift is this. You will start recognizing yourself again. The version of you that existed before disappointment made you cautious. This love will not erase your past, but it will finally give it meaning. It will show you that everything you endured was not meant to harden you. It was meant to prepare you for something stable enough to stay. Take this final moment seriously. One day, without drama, without announcement, you will look at this person and realize that your nervous system feels at home. No fear of abandonment. No anxiety about tomorrow. Just a grounded sense of belonging. And that is when the last revelation will land. This is not the love you chased. This is the love that met you when you were ready. It did not rush you. It did not break you. It waited. And now that it is here, it will walk with you, not ahead of you, not behind you, but beside you. If you are still listening, still feeling this in your chest, then understand this clearly. This story is no longer about waiting. It is about becoming. There is a moment coming that will feel almost invisible, yet it will mark a permanent shift inside you. It will not arrive with fireworks or dramatic words. It will arrive quietly, during an ordinary interaction, when you suddenly realize you are no longer guarding your heart. Your shoulders will relax without effort. Your breath will feel deeper. And in that instant, you will understand something powerful. You are no longer surviving love. You are participating in it. This is when the past finally loosens its grip. Not because it vanished, but because it no longer controls your reactions. The love entering your life does not reopen old wounds. It closes them by proving they are no longer needed. Focus here, because this truth separates fantasy from reality. The person who loves you madly will not try to impress the world with your relationship. They will focus on protecting it. They will choose private loyalty over public validation. And that choice will hit you hard, because you are used to love that needed to be announced to feel real. This one does not need an audience. It grows stronger in silence, in shared understanding, in mutual respect. You will notice that arguments do not turn into threats. Silence does not turn into punishment. Disagreements do not turn into distance. Instead, there will be communication. Calm. Repair. That is when you will realize you are no longer in a cycle. You are in a connection. Here is the revelation that changes how you see yourself. This love will teach you that you were never difficult to love. You were simply asking for depth in shallow places. When someone loves you madly in the right way, they do not complain about your emotions. They listen. They do not label your needs as problems. They meet them with intention. And slowly, you will stop apologizing for being human. You will stop minimizing your feelings. You will stop shrinking your expectations. Not because you became demanding, but because you finally experienced what aligned effort feels like. Stay present for this part, because it carries weight. As time passes, you will notice that this love makes you braver. Not reckless, but grounded. You will take chances in life because you know you are supported emotionally. You will speak your truth because you are not afraid of losing someone who values it. And the shock is this. The more secure you become, the more attractive your energy becomes. This love does not isolate you from the world. It strengthens you within it. It reminds you who you are when you are not operating from fear. Let this final paragraph sink in slowly. One day, you will look back at the version of yourself who waited, who doubted, who hoped quietly, and you will feel gratitude instead of pain. Because that version survived long enough to meet this one. The love that came into your life was never meant to save you. It was meant to walk with you once you were ready to stand fully in yourself. And now that you are here, now that this love is real, you will understand the biggest truth of all. Some love arrives late, not to test your patience, but to match your growth. There will come a point where you stop asking yourself if this love is real, because your body will answer before your mind does. Your reactions will change. Your anxiety will soften. Your instincts will no longer stay on high alert. You will notice that you are no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop. That constant preparation for loss will quietly dissolve. And this is when you will realize something profound. Love was never supposed to feel like a battlefield. It was supposed to feel like solid ground. This connection does not keep you guessing. It keeps you grounded. It does not confuse you. It clarifies you. That clarity will feel almost unreal at first, because you spent so long mistaking intensity for truth. Now understand this carefully, because this is where everything locks into place. The person who loves you madly will not try to change your nature. They will refine it. They will encourage your growth without making you feel inadequate. They will celebrate your independence without feeling threatened by it. And the surprising truth is this. The more you become yourself, the stronger this bond becomes. There is no competition here. No power struggle. No emotional manipulation. Just two people choosing alignment over control. That choice creates a connection that does not weaken under pressure. It strengthens. There is a quiet miracle hidden in this love, so do not miss it. You will start trusting life again. Not blindly, but wisely. You will believe that good things can stay. That happiness does not always come with a hidden cost. And this shift will affect everything. Your work. Your friendships. Your decisions. You will move with intention instead of fear. And the shock is this. People will notice the difference before you do. They will sense your calm. Your confidence. Your emotional steadiness. All of it rooted in the fact that someone sees you fully and still chooses you without hesitation. Pay attention here, because this truth is rare. This love will not peak and disappear. It will deepen. Over time, passion will turn into devotion. Excitement will turn into understanding. And instead of fading, the connection will mature. You will learn that real love does not scream for attention. It whispers consistency. It shows up on difficult days. It stays present when things are ordinary. And that is when you will understand why this love had to arrive when it did. Anything earlier would not have survived who you were back then. This version of you can hold it. Let this final realization land without resistance. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. You were being prepared. Every delay shaped your discernment. Every disappointment sharpened your awareness. And now, the love that enters your life does so with purpose. It loves you madly, not recklessly. Deeply, not destructively. Completely, not conditionally. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment it finally makes sense. Something irreversible has already happened inside you, even if you have not named it yet. You no longer crave chaos disguised as passion. You no longer mistake emotional distance for mystery. Your soul has matured quietly, and that maturity has become a signal. The love that finds you now is responding to who you have become, not who you were begging to be understood as. This is the phase where life stops teaching through pain and starts teaching through alignment. And once this shift happens, there is no going back. You cannot unsee what healthy love feels like. You cannot unfeel what calm certainty does to your spirit. Here is the truth most people never hear. The one who loves you madly is not overwhelmed by your depth. They are drawn to it. They do not feel threatened by your awareness. They feel inspired by it. Where others felt exposed by your questions, this person feels invited. Where others pulled away from your intensity, this person leans in with intention. And this is where the shock lives. You realize that love was never scarce. Compatibility was. This connection works because it is not built on potential. It is built on reality. Watch what happens next. Your standards stop feeling like walls and start feeling like filters. You do not argue your worth anymore. You do not chase clarity. You expect it. And the person beside you does not flinch at that expectation. They meet it naturally. There is no fear in saying what you need. There is no tension in being honest. That is when you understand how powerful mutual respect really is. It does not restrict love. It frees it. And once you taste that freedom, anything less feels impossible to accept. This part is subtle, but it changes everything. You stop romanticizing the past. Not because it did not matter, but because it no longer defines you. Gratitude replaces attachment. Wisdom replaces regret. You finally see that every ending was a redirection, not a rejection. And standing in this clarity, you feel something rare. Peace without numbness. Joy without anxiety. Love without fear. That balance is not luck. It is earned through growth. Let this settle as the final note for now. The person who loves you madly does not complete you. They complement you. They walk with you, not to fill a void, but to share a fullness. And in that shared space, you realize the biggest revelation of all. You were never behind. You were becoming. And now, the love that meets you does so at the exact level of your becoming. There is a quiet confidence growing inside you now, and it is not loud enough for others to notice yet, but it is powerful enough to change your future. You no longer rush emotional decisions. You no longer attach yourself to uncertainty. Something inside you has learned patience without bitterness. And this is important, because the love that stays does not arrive when you are desperate. It arrives when you are stable enough to recognize it without panic. This is the stage where your energy stops calling chaos and starts calling clarity. And clarity always responds. Understand this deeply, because it explains everything. The person who loves you madly does not arrive to create drama in your life. They arrive to remove it. Their presence simplifies things. Conversations become clearer. Decisions become lighter. You stop overthinking texts, intentions, and silence. There is nothing to decode here. What they feel is what they show. What they promise is what they do. That level of alignment feels almost shocking when you have spent years navigating mixed signals. This is not magic. This is emotional maturity meeting emotional maturity. Here is the part that feels almost unreal. You will not feel the urge to prove your value to this person. You will not perform love. You will not negotiate respect. It will already be there. And in that safety, something unexpected happens. You soften. You open. You allow yourself to be seen fully, not because you are fearless, but because you finally feel secure. That security does not weaken you. It strengthens your sense of self. You become more honest. More grounded. More present. This is what love looks like when it is healthy. Stay focused, because this truth is rare. The love that comes now grows slowly but firmly. It is not rushed. It is not careless. It is intentional. It pays attention. It remembers. It chooses you even on days when you are quiet, tired, or unsure. And that consistency does something powerful. It teaches your nervous system that connection does not always lead to pain. That lesson alone rewires how you experience intimacy. You stop bracing for loss. You start trusting presence. Let this final thought settle without resistance. The love that finds you at this stage of life is not here to teach you a lesson. You already learned them. It is here to reward your growth. It is here to walk beside the version of you that survived, healed, and evolved. And once you understand this, one truth becomes undeniable. You were never waiting for love. Love was waiting for you to be ready.